perhaps raises then the broader issue of how our countries get dynamic climate action agendas. And in Australia, like New Zealand, it's tended to be a bit polarised. I mean, out on one end, you've got the climate change skeptics. On the other, you might have Extinction Rebellion in the UK, for example. But I think most people buy into the fact that there is, human-induced climate change, but then the desire for action and the speed at which it can happen, it becomes quite a controversial matter. How do you see Australia picking its way through this? Because your politics have been quite polarised on it from observing across the ditch, as it were.
Yeah, well, we've I mean, I think one of the big problems we've had is Murdoch. You're very lucky not to have Murdoch in the media in New Zealand. We look, basically what you've seen, and you see this in the US too, is on the right wing of politics, you've got a global warming was turned into an identity issue, an ideological issue, almost a religious issue, cultural war issue. And in Australia, you had that toxic combination of the fossil fuel sector that had a vested interest in it. You had the populist right in politics, which was the right wing of much of the right wing of my party, the Liberal Party. And of course you had the right wing media, and this is where Murdoch, was totally uninhibited. I mean, Murdoch's media, and you see it particularly with Fox News in the States or Sky News in Australia, and you get Sky in New Zealand, so you see what they're doing after dark. It's wild stuff. It is untethered to facts, reality, and essentially it's what I call angertainment, and it's created an ecosystem in which a lot of crazy populism has flourished. And so that's been the challenge in Australia. Now, I think so how's that worked out politically? Well, I think it worked out well for Abbott. It helped him win the election in 2013. It blew up on Morrison massively. A bunch of other reasons, but you will have noticed that in Australia, not only did the Liberal Party lose a lot of seats under Morrison at the elections last year to Labor, but more importantly, they lost a bunch of seats to independents. So there are now collectively 9 electorates. Now, bear in mind, we have 150 seats in our House of Representatives. There are 9 electorates that used to be absolutely roll goal safe Liberal seats. I mean, seats literally where all you'd spend on your campaign was whatever you needed to put up a few core flutes and how to votes and a few flyers, right? You just, very, very safe seats. 9 of those seats are now held by small L Liberal women, all women, all committed to climate action, and all generally, progressive on social issues. And these 6 of them were won at the last election, and 3 of them were won at previous elections. But the reality is, that it's. I mean, it's I think potentially a terminal problem for the Liberal Party, because if you can't hold your safest seats, how do you get to a majority? Because I mean, ultimately, it's all arithmetic. So if when you're trying to, you've done this, we've both done this, you're trying to work out how do you get to your majority, and you start off with the safe seats, and then suddenly, if independents say, right, I'm taking 9 of them off the bottom of the pile, it's a lot harder to get in our system, say, to 76. So I think I think public opinion is more positive about needing action on global warming. I think it's hard to persuade Australians that renewable energy is a fake or too expensive, because over a third of households have got solar panels on their roofs, so people know, and they're not doing that. But they're doing that because they want to pay less on their electricity bill. And of course, as you know, we've had the most terrible extreme climate events. But having said that, you've got to manage it well. And my big concern is that we're not doing enough in the long duration storage area. So, I would be saying to your new Prime Minister, regardless of your views on global warming, if you think you're going to move to having more solar and more wind, which is inevitable, then you're going to need more storage. And one of the best ways to do that, unless you want to spend a lot of money on buying batteries from China or America, best way to do that is to have pumped hydro. Now, whether Onslow is the best location, I don't know. But all you need is a hole on the bottom of a hill and a hole on the top of the hill.
Simple.
Well, it's simple. It's simple until you have to actually do it. But yeah, right. It's not. You don't. What I'm saying is, you don't have to invent. It's not like inventing AI or something, or Chat GPT. It's like it's essentially we know what you need to do.
Yeah.